The Style Master is out there, the 7-time world champ, Stephanie Gilmore. The Virtuoso is going to take on Gabriela Bryan in their second quarterfinal heat. The winner will go up against Tyler Wright. Had a heat win over Steph this year at Sunset Beach, and it's Gabriela Bryan who's going to get things started here, Pete.
There you go. Two big hacks to start this wave off. And then nice little roundhouse cutback. And look at this thing start to load up on the inside. She took the inside position over Steph in this early exchange, and it's paid off right here because look at this screamer.
Oh, man, it felt like she could have almost set up a tube right through that section. It's super tubes here, and this wave's going to stretch out. She's out of there.
So a lot of, all the score really going to come off those two maneuvers on the outside because those inside stuff is basically just chasing.
In the not too distant future, there is still some waves standing up, but here's the replay of Gabriela's first turn.
Yeah, and again, she's had that forehand hack on lock. It's been one of her go-to moves, and it's very powerful, and it's very easy to score for the judges, and she does two of them in a row here. So those are going to be basically the score is going to be off of all that. As you watch the replay here, finishing up, and then this wave kind of loads up all through the inside here, and there's just not a whole lot of opportunity. She chases it down the line. I mean, maybe if she'd hung back. I mean, when you're seeing the wall stand up like it is, she just was hoping to get another maneuver done at the very end.
Oh, here's Steph on the outside. We could see those sets coming from a mile away. She's going to get a chance here to answer on the opening exchange. It was a 5.5 for Gabriela Bryan. And Gilmore has a beautiful looking wall. This one seems to be standing up nicely on the outside. It's a good size. Steph looks to set up the barrel, stops on the tail, now climbs to the front of her board, gets the exit, and back up into the pocket. Nice little slice off the top there. And just so refined her approach out here, just very clean, and read that tube ride beautifully.
Well, watch this, this sets it up. This is all that time spent hunting barrels on the Gold Coast. You know, she's very accomplished in those forehand barrels, and very nicely done. Just so cool, calm, collected.
They had to go there, didn't they, Pete? 8.33. Laura Annova looking into the eye of that tube, and just that classic style coming to the fore once again.
Yeah, that was amazing. Now, what a setup. It was actually a really hard wave to read. It had a pretty weird lump in it, but Steph just read it so well, and just stomped on the tail, and it even had sort of a backwash through the tube. She got to stand tall, and just classic Steph Gilmore out here at J-Bay. She's been watching the men all day.
And these lines just continue to load up here and run down the point. And it looks like Steph's going to maybe have another shot at one. And Gabriela passing this wave up, and Steph says, really, I'll have a go. And she's just gliding through the sections at the moment. Now gets the opportunity to sink some rail. Sort of hung on the fins through that one. Driving up into the bowl, just looking for the backup score. And this is just knowledge and wisdom.
It's an added element of pressure here that Gabby's just now coming to, as a rookie, just to being able to feel.
Here she is on one of those medium-sized set waves. That's going to give her a bit more freedom to attack the bowl. And she's loading up now. A bit of foam on the face, but she'll skim past that as this wave hits green water once again, hammers the pocket, and now loading up. Has a big high-line speed run through the inside here. Will she get another opportunity? It looks like she will. Just driving into this final section. Big carve there, nicely committed, really flexing on the fins. Up into the pocket again, tail drops out of the lip. And still going down the line. This wave's had a lot of potential on it, and Gabriela Bryan is really milking all the points out of this one. And this is a real leg burner as she gets right through to the inside. Doesn't really have the momentum to hit that final section, but I don't think it'll matter. Quite a bit of work done there. As we see the replay of Gabriela Bryan, 6.67.
Yeah, these two gaps on this outside section, very well done. And then this wave starts to speed up in a big way. She had to chase it down, was looking to see if she could finally get a maneuver done. There's a little bit of a check snap there. But then this wave loads up, and she chases. Surprising to me that actually she was able to get around it because it looked like it was going to shut down. And she finally does at this point here, and then a very strong turn with all that speed, just gaffs it. Beautifully done. And then a nice solid finish move. So, she added a good 1.5 points at the end of this ride because of all that work to get to this final section. Again, talk about leg burners. You're pressing on your board to get all that speed. It definitely burns out the legs. And she looks like she wasn't really winded. She definitely had more in the tank.
And it is looking like a big stretched out wall. And Steph's got great control on these bigger waves as she drops to the bottom of this one. And flares straight up into the lip. Huge turn to get started. And just watch how clean she keeps these rails. Not a lot of pumping between those turns. Just holds those lines beautifully. So a big combo on the outside, already on her way to another good score as she looks to set up the barrels. Stalling now, gets a little bit of cover, not super deep. But there was some good work done on the outside.
I mean, look at this, just solid, almost, double overhead, and just so smooth and clean, and just beautiful arcs from Steph. That's what she does, just velvetly smooth. Digs in, that one getting that redirect, pointing the board back into the pit, which is good stuff. The judges will like that. This wave starts to foam out a little bit, and then the sets up here, she gets a little bit too quick, didn't stall, didn't put that handbrake down, strong enough, so she wasn't able to slow down. But, the stuff on the outside, super cool.
Yeah, what are these turns worth on the outside? I mean, even though she didn't get particularly deep in the tube, they were just all time, those manoeuvres, and just that extra application of pressure through that second manoeuvre. You could see it in the tail of the board.
Well, she surpassed the best number of Gabriela Bryan, but look at that, just that arc there, stretching that front leg, stretched out. That's commitment. And she, opens it up. You can see the arm placement.
Also, too, just riding out at each of these turns. Steph almost, like Tom Curran did on his very first wave here, redirects and points that board straight at the beach for a good amount of time. It's not quite a fade, but she is actually trying to stay as close to that bowl as possible, and it allowed the big combination, and that's why she got that score.
Came in at a 7.93. Yeah, she's doing everything she could there to stall it out, but a bigger wave like that, it's tough to get yourself handbraked in there.
I think if she gets a deeper barrel, that potentially becomes the highest number of the event so far. So her ability to just drop straight to the bottom and drive up into that bowl and not waste that steep wall on the outside. Here goes Gabriela now. Has a look at this one, sees that it's stretching out. It was a good decision to get out of that ride and get priority back with 7 minutes to go.
Tough here for Carissa, not the way you want to start a heat.
Not ideal at all. As we see Gabriela Bryan now up. 3.5 minutes to go. And we saw Joanne Defay in the last heat give herself an opportunity, chip away at the requirement with some solid surfing, and just give herself a chance in the dying stages against Tyler Wright. Gabriela's got to do better than a 6.67 on this wave in order to improve her shot at that lead. And there's a great turn off the top. She's got so much power, the 20-year-old.
I think she was in her mind, she's going, okay, maybe I get 2 chances here. If I take the smaller wave, I'll get 2 opportunities.
Caroline Marks should get an advantage necessarily because Carissa got worked by a big set wave prior to the heat getting underway, so they might just wait for her, but we'll see what happens. I'm not sure I've seen that scenario before, and Carissa was certainly asking the question as we see Steph Gilmore here with just 30 seconds to go, locking into the tube, finding that cover. She'll get the exit. Everything done with just all the style in the world. It's a distinguished performance. She made her numbers count. All 4 of her rides were reasonable and had great moments. But Steph Gilmore is on her way to the semi-finals.